Off you go, Howard.
Be careful what people are saying. Switch on, please.
We're recording.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Right, welcome everybody to the February, looking at on the paper, February meeting of the Bingley Town Council Planning Committee. The agenda, treble 2/3/93, pod to note apologies for absence. Well, we don't have any apologies for absence because everybody's here. That's good. Treble 2/3/94, disclosures of interest to receive declarations of interest from councillors on items on the agenda. Anybody got any declaration of interest? No?
Yeah, I'll just declare something. The notified appeal for the Crossflats Cricket Club. There's a long list of people who have been also notified, and I know a few people on that list. Right. But I mean, there is 5 pages worth of addresses, so I'm pretty sure most of us know somebody on that list.
Yes, I know.
It's a huge number.
Have we received any written requests?
No.
So, right, moving on then to treble 2/3/95, minutes of previous meeting, minutes held on Tuesday 10th of January, which were previously circulated and proposed acceptance. David seconded, all in favour?
Yeah.
Cute, I'll sign them later. Treble 2/3/96, confidential items, with nothing confidential, are we, Nicola?
No.
Treble 2/3/97, public participation. Well, welcome to all members of the public. Treble 2/3/98, ongoing issues. Notified planning panel. There is the planning panel, which we'll discuss under correspondence. But the planning appeal, land at Crossflats Cricket Club has gone to appeal, and there are, goodness knows, as Rachel says, humongous amount of people.
A lot of interest in that one.
From Keith, Lake, Riddlesden, Sutton and Craven, care of lawyers in London,
I'm sure it's all members of the cricket club.
Burley and Wharfdale.
Well, you been down and look at it? It's a mess.
It's residents as well.
Colin,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Colin, Eastmorton, all over the place.
So people have got their friends to.
Yeah, as I
Possibly,
said, there's
maybe.
pages of it. So there we are. So that's just a note for us to know, really. We'll see what happens.
Are we going to do anything? I know it says everything that everyone's already said will be taken into consideration.
So we.
It's just that if we want to reiterate anything into.
Is it advantageous for us to put a comment in?
I think we could maybe rehash our discussion and refusal so that it is fresh in their mind rather than at the bottom of the file.
Yeah. And the deadline for that is 5 weeks from the 20th of January. So when's 5 weeks?
Oh, you're within time anyway.
Yeah, back of time.
We
I think
haven't.
as well.
We've probably used 3 weeks, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So if it goes in this week, it'll be fine.
So can we send to the planning inspectorate?
I can't understand how he's managed to build what he's built.
Well, he's built it before he's got planning permission.
It
It was a retrospective planning application.
We've got
To the
time.
24th of February.
So we're going to send a note to the planning inspectorate in Bristol saying
I think basically
what we.
our comments that we submitted, and I think if we put within that as well, there's been no mitigating evidence brought forward to support an approval. So we would stand by our refusal.
Yeah.
And I'm reiterating that it was a retrospective application.
Yeah, it was retrospective anyway. Yeah, I think if we do that, it's. Well, they'll do it. I don't know what they'll do with that. Be interesting, won't it?
Well, technically, you better pull them down.
Be interesting when cricket balls are coming through your front window.
Won't it just?
Well, I bet it isn't the length of that from that wall to that door there.
Is it so near?
Oh, it's
it's
yeah, it's
right
nice,
in the-
yeah.
But is
It's
it
on
going
the
to be a
boundary,
net put
isn't
up?
Yeah.
But that's not good Easter ornament, is it?
Right, anyway.
That's a challenge.
If the challenge and lose, my God, there'll be some stink, won't there? And rightly so as well, they want to play cricket, don't they? We're trying to encourage people to play sport, aren't we?
Well, who owned the land originally, I wonder?
It's the cricket club.
So they've sold it to
No,
It's a
it
bit
was
easy.
Bradford Bingley Building Society had an
Oh,
office
right.
down there at
Oh,
one
they
time.
did. Yes, they did have an office down
So
there.
there was some industrial units, I think a garage, and then a ramshackled old barn, which became the climbing wall.
Right. Yes.
As
Yeah,
long
there
as
was
I
a-
recollect, it was part of the
There was a
Bradford
business.
and Bingley asset.
Right.
They had a.
I could
they
stand
did
to be
have a-
correct.
I was under the impression that it belonged to the cricket club, and they sold it to somebody, and then they've.
Well,
changed their
anyway.
mind. That might be hearsay.
Irrespective.
Irrespective, it's
Irrespective.
still bad planning.
Yeah.
Shall we move on then? 22399 Bradford District Landscape Charter Assessment. To consider the Bradford District Landscape Character Assessment consultation with regard to Cottony and I've had to read. I think everything they've said. I'm quite happy with what they've said. Unless anybody's got any other comments, I'm quite happy for that. Just a note. Unless anybody has anything to say.
Second bit.
And similarly on Ron Bowlesmore, which is right on the edge of the boundary. Similar with just
Sitting.
autumn.
Yep, seems
Yeah.
fine.
All in favour? Thank you. Might get into proper business now. And you've seen the sheet of planning applications. It's been refused and not agreed. And they are, well, the re-refused one they've granted it. They agreed with that. Prior approval was not required on that. Well, we'll come to that. And they refused the one about the Grange Cottage, which was good. And the Weecher Cottage, we recommended approval, and they said it's in Green Belt. You wonder sometimes what's the point of bothering.
There's no rhyme or reason sometimes, is there?
No.
Number one, 22/05270 was granted on the 8th of February. So there's no point having any discussion on that. So for your work you've done, Rachel, but there you go.
I noticed when I clicked on it, it said approved, so I was like,
Number two, 22/05282, 26 Oakwood Drive. Right, Rachel, please.
yeah, so this is similar to an application that's number 5 as well, so they probably need to be taken separately still, but the comments will probably stand for both of them. So this is a change of use from just a normal house into a care home for 3 children. Now the C2 there can actually encompass quite a few different things. It can be children, it could be adults who have various addictions, and that's what has caused a lot of noise on the Facebook groups and a lot of objections as
Right.
well. From my personal standpoint, I think it's good to use a home to house children if that's what it would be used for. I
Yeah.
think the ambiguity around what it could be used for is the issue here.
So, what do you think?
I mean, there is no information on other than the fact they're calling it a children's home. There's
That's
absolutely
that's
no,
it.
nothing
I
there.
looked into the person who's put in the application. I searched for their name on Company's House. This company, Eden Care Homes Limited, has existed since the back end of 2022, so it's quite a new company. But they are involved in a few other companies as well. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but they have been going for a few years previously. Not many, like 3 or 4 years previously. One is a property development company, and 2 are children's or educational services company.
Right.
So they do have some sort
it
of
sounds-
experience with it. At the end of the day, fostering kids or putting kids in homes,
It's better than on the street.
well, it's better than them on the street, and it is quite profitable for certain
you-
people.
Quite
Also, anybody, if they wanted to, if they owned a home, could foster 3 kids if they wanted to.
Are you happy to approve this?
So they're
then?
changing the whole property rather than it being a dwelling as such for It's 5-bedroom care home, effectively.
So what they're doing is they're
Children.
they're not changing sort of the footprint.
No.
They're changing, they're configuring, I think.
Those are the plans.
Yeah, they're moving, they're putting a wall in to have a bedroom for a staff member. And moving a few walls about to make one bedroom a little bit bigger.
You can see why they're doing it, can't you? Because given Bradford's profile on children's care is
atrocious.
Yeah.
and we can see why
Well,
these
there's
are
nothing-
jumping on the bandwagon. Aren't
There's nothing to say that another operator's going to be right much better.
they? Well, that's the,
That is the issue.
So are we happy to...
And it's a
Well,
new-
I've got a few comments on it.
right, David, fire away.
Got to bear in mind this is a residential area. You're going to intensify the use of that area by the fact that there could be staff members coming, there could be potentially various carers coming, various therapists, what have you. So you're going to intensify that. Parking on there is bad enough as it is. If you look at support services, and we did discuss this when we did Five Rise Hotel, there ain't any in Bingley. You know, if you need support services for some of the issues Rachel mentioned, it's Keighley or Bradford. So you're putting maybe vulnerable young people at a disadvantage to start with by removing them, you know, from easy access. And you know, it's those support structures which are pretty important if this is going to work. And if they're some distance.
I think leopard amenities maybe another one.
Yeah.
So are you saying that we should...
I'd be minded to refuse. It's an intensification of use of that area. It's a commercialisation of a solidly residential area. It isn't as though it's sort of a little village centre with a few shops and a doctor's surgery and housing around it. This is purely and utterly residential.
Can you just show us location plan, Nicola, please?
what do they define as children? Is it up to an age of 16? Is it?
18.
Yeah.
Below 18's a
There's a
child.
location plan.
Right.
But
Okay,
there's,
well,
but
therefore-
there's no...
Okay, look.
Third down,
Third one down.
Oh,
location.
yes, sorry.
So therefore,
It's
it's not necessarily children in the sense that
we would call children, no.
So it's in the middle of
Could
the
be young
road.
young adults. Yeah.
It's just the middle of a residential
Just-
street, as is the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Is it the same company?
Yeah.
I mean, with intensification of the what do you say? Intensification of the area.
Yeah, the vehicular
I mean,
usage.
an older person who needed care to be visited 4 times a day would also be sort of an intensification of the area.
They
wouldn't
wouldn't
they?
have
Property,
two
wouldn't
cars of their own as well, would they?
Right.
So what are we saying then?
I'd move refuse.
Are we focusing on the grounds of... Have we got to all that, Nicola?
Intensification, support services, impact on residential, street.
Just one more thing to mention as well. There has been a similar application by the same people put in at Daisy Hill, and that's been approved. Just so you're aware. So
we have David is
Well, what's the history of
recommending
this? It's a
refusal.
new company.
new company that for this particular who put in this
Yeah,
application, a new company that was established I think December 2022. So not very long ago.
What about the
It's
people?
It's a
what about
C2
the
classification, that worries me.
integrity of the
It
people
could,
who's
C2
running it,
classification
owners?
covers a
We don't know.
multitude.
Do we?
So David
And-
is proposing...
Sorry, one more thing as well. This is not based on stuff that I've seen official. It's based on the noise that I've heard around it. But I believe there are some covenants in place for some of the properties around there about changing a residential property into a business.
Which would,
I think you'll find out they're out of date.
All right.
but
Right,
there
so
are, there are
David is-
also an awful lot of
We have
objections.
a proposal on the table for rejecting it on the grounds of etc. Do we have a second of that?
Yeah.
Please? Andrew, all in favour, please show.
I'm abstaining.
You're abstaining. Number 3. 22/05262 33 Falcon Road. Great.
Yes.
This is a popular road, isn't it? Falcon
Yes, they like to put in their applications for extensions here. It's an extension above something that's already there. So it's a first floor extension above something that's ground floor already. It looks big, but think to quote Steve, you know, a man's house is his castle. It doesn't look particularly awful.
No.
It does look big though.
Could I see the street scene, please?
Yeah.
It's the one that's sort of like a bit of a lean-to at the side of the house, if you remember when we went
Location
to
plan
it.
could be.
Yeah, because I read the,
Yeah.
I looked at this because it says 2-storey
So
side
it's-
extension, but
Yeah,
the
but it's
first
al-
one, it's already
there.
There's that one.
It's a second
Oh,
storey
so it's right on the
extension.
corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bit of land to go
Yeah.
with it.
I had a look at Andrew had a look at it. We would have said no comment, you know,
Right.
or
If somebody said in
Approve.
favour, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have an issue
It's
with
fine, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So what are you saying?
There's no objections.
Approve.
I would say approve.
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 Second it.
Well, so that's
positive.
approval of
Yeah.
a second, David, all in favour?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Can't get past anyway, will it?
No.
Number 4, change of... Oh, number 4
Number
was
5
granted.
now.
Number 4 was granted,
Oh, is it granted that? Oh, yeah.
as Rachel kindly told us. Granted
I
yesterday,
think it was
wasn't
Philippa who said that.
Oh, it's Philippa.
Yeah.
So that's granted. It's a label, so
It looked
skip
okay.
number 4. Number 5, 22/05374, 50 Oakwood Drive.
Same as 26, but
Yeah.
we've
Same as
refused.
number
Yeah.
2, yeah.
So
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
They only do, you know, it's a similar config. You know, they're changing a few walls around. This one's for 4 children instead of 3 children. I mean, it's a slightly different
So
position.
saying if it
on
was
the-
It's a
along,
6-bedroom house to goes to a 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a big house. You know, but, yeah.
I was saying if it was along the same
Same
grounds.
ground as 26, yeah.
Yeah, and we have a proposer for that, please. David, seconder. Yeah, all in favour?
I'll
And
abstain.
Rachel was abstaining. No, fair enough. Number 6, 22/05165, Cross Gates Barn. Did you manage to have a look at this, Andrew, and understand it
This,
better?
this is a bit funny, isn't it? Because it came last month,
Yes, it
and,
did.
on the list it's down as the decided list. It was down as something weird.
It was, yeah, was it LBC last one? I can't remember.
Listed building, yeah, because
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
listed
it's
building, wasn't
Yeah.
required,
Right.
I think. Yes.
So was the listed building granted? Was that was it? What was
What's
asked
to do with the
for?
windows?
Yeah, the archway I think was the biggest issue.
The one,
So-
Issue with it. It
Quite,
was a
quite,
nice way
quite.
of using a building.
I'd go for approved, to be honest,
yeah.
before it falls down.
Yeah. David is
I like
approving
a
it.
good barn conversion.
Can I just see a picture of it as now and as what they want to do to it, if we can, externally, please?
Yeah.
Now it's dilapidated. Is
Oh, you want to look?
That's
Well,
what
the
I'm
proposed-
saying.
Existing floor plan.
we did have a good look at it last month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
but-
the existing floor plan.
If you
You
go
want to go on, what you wanted on, go on
proposed
Google.
elevations. I
Just to
think.
see the elevation as is and as what they would
Proposed
propose.
elevations.
Elevations.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine, does that?
Yeah. David is proposing it. Do we have a second
I'll
now?
second it.
I'll go with it now.
All
See
in
it.
favour?
I was against it last month. I don't think we should be converting it there because it's up a tiny little track and.
All in favour, except Philip who's voting against it, which is Philip, isn't it?
It's better to put it to use and let it just drop to.
It has
Yes,
dropped
it
a bit.
is. It's better being put to use. Isn't it? Number 7, 23, 9 to 2023, 00145, 17 Round Hill Mount, Cottingley, which I asked Andrew to.
Yeah, we did have a look at it. It's quite a constrained site. It's
It is,
a
isn't it? Yeah.
big double-storey side extension and rear extension, and playing around with the hip on the roof as well. I would go for it looking very cramped, it's overdeveloped, and there might even be some terracing effect because of how close it is on the corner.
And it is
So
really on the corner,
yeah,
isn't it?
I'd go for refuse.
Yeah.
Could we see it again, Howard, on there, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
So
remember
what
what
would
it
you like
was
to look at? The
Can we look at the location plan? Just
That's the location plan.
block and location.
Oh yeah.
Just as now
Oh,
and as
yeah,
what they want
yeah.
to develop, if you can.
That's the location
So that's
plan.
location plan.
Yeah.
What
What
they
did you
want
want
to
to
actually,
see,
what's the
Andrew?
plans?
As the
elevation.
elevations as now and what they propose.
It comes
So-
down the side,
Yeah, and the back,
Proposed
And the back.
elevations plan, if that's helpful.
and then the
but because I had a
bring
look,
a hit to.
because
Yeah.
the garage isn't a garage, it's just
No.
a shed
Yeah.
already, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
What other document would you like
It's
to say?
overdeveloped.
Just the front elevation, if I may.
Front elevation.
It's overdeveloped. It is. It's
Proposed elevation, application.
Massive.
Proposed
Proposed.
elevation plan at bottom.
it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or will be.
Oh, that's one, yeah.
Oh,
just
look
right,
at
we've done that one.
Oh, must be a,
Do you want to see the existing
there's a
plan
floor
and
plan, the existing plan.
then existing elevations plan? Oh, no, it's just-
Not changed.
Yeah, I noticed this when I looked at it earlier.
Ah,
It's the same
proposed.
stuff.
Existing floor plan.
Go floor plan.
Existing floor plans, right, okay, existing
Yeah.
floor plans.
That's existing, is it?
Yeah.
And proposed.
And proposed.
Proposed.
It really annoys me when they do this, where they have
Where's-
one on one page and then multiple pages. So it's this bit down this side.
Down the
a
side
little
and
bit
across the
along
back.
And a little bit across the back there.
It's not huge then, is it?
did you say, sorry?
When you actually go on site, compared, it fills the site up. It's a very constrained site.
So you're recommending refusal?
I'd go for refuse.
So is that red line the boundary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll second
Is that a
that.
metre?
I'll
It
second
says
that.
at the top, doesn't it?
And I'll
Yes,
agree with
me
you too.
That'll be what they've got to leave.
Did you say
A requirement into
Refusing on the
refusing?
grounds.
Yeah.
You've got that, Nicola?
Every-
Sorry, refused
Yeah.
on the grounds of.
Overdevelopment, terracing effect, cramped, and out of character with the street scene, I guess.
Sounds right to me.
Well, it tends to all of in bits.
Number 8.
Sorry, did we have a proposal?
David proposed and I seconded. And we're all in favour. Number 8, 23/00147. 32 Moorcroft, Elwick. David, back in your neck of
Yeah,
the woods.
we popped up and had a look. Similar to many on the street. Approve?
they've all had alterations on that, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Seconded, all in favour?
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's one of the last
Okay.
ones not
it
to
is.
be done.
Number
They are
9.
cramped, aren't they?
Number 9, 23/00010. 8 Glen Road, Elwick. Is that the one with? No.
No, that
Which
was,
is- no, that was the other one, sorry.
one. That's
This is
been
the other
passed,
end of the road, presumably.
Undetached house.
Yeah. Glen Road at that point is all but a single track road. There's been significant development on Glen Road and around, so there is traffic issues. Just
Scroll down, Nicola,
Continuing
because
to add
the building
to-
in the garden. Yeah.
Oh, right.
continuing to add to the traffic load down there. We've got to draw a line at some stage. You
Yeah.
can't build in every back and front garden.
We've got reason to believe this was passed in about 2018, 2019, but obviously that planning's expired, and they have to actually take the double garage down to access the rear. Now, I do think that the property's all right, what they're proposing to do, but the problem is, to me, is that it's another house, more vehicles that provide amenities as people work from home. It's a shambles down there. There isn't actual way out.
Is
Just
it a
they've all
major
got-
road or not?
It's an adopted highway, and it is marginally bigger than a transit van wide. There's no footpath at either side. It's highway safety. We just cannot continue to carry on putting properties onto substandard roads.
I think if you
Similar,
go-
similar issue to what we had before with the bigger development, where the gentleman came in and complained about traffic situation.
Yeah.
They're having to use the same ways in and out as that particular one,
It's a very narrow road.
and I think
isn't it?
highways is a major issue.
Oh, if you meet a pedestrian in some of the sections where they're in a driveway there.
You know,
It's not good.
there's the pedestrians got
I
off
think
tram.
the trouble is that all down there, all the houses with quite large gardens have all had extensions built or had houses built in them.
They have.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be very hard to refuse it from that point of view because
would.
there's a good argument to put forward.
It would,
to
but
say,
where do you draw the line? Enough's
well,
enough. My
that's
question.
it. They won't do, will they? Because they know there needs a demand
Well,
for housing.
if it's a private drive, you can go up to, depending on which bit of the manual read, 5 to 7. I know this isn't a private drive; it's an adopted highway, but there's some private drives that are bigger. So
So are
just
we-
overloading the area, and then the next one will put a
I mean,
couple
if
in the
you-
back garden. The next one, where do we stop with highway
all
safety?
All of them,
these were
all them.
these
Yeah.
somebody's garden.
Yes, yes.
You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
all
It's all filling in, and then
all
you
There's one of them
Yeah.
there that used to have tennis courts at the back. I
the
remember it.
3D models of it. You know, it actually was quite good. It's
I know.
design,
The
the
design's
design,
fantastic.
Yeah.
not a problem.
well,
It's the
obviously
intensification of the traffic.
The design's brilliant. I have no problem. It's just the intensification of the use of the drive and highway.
I like that style. The sort of
So,
style.
David, what are you saying then, please?
I go refuse
Why did they
on
need to black out the faces?
highway
I don't
safety.
computer
I don't
generated.
know. It
Sorry.
just seemed
If
weird
it was
to
on-
me.
I
That.
don't think that'll be adequate, David, myself. I think they'll get planning permission.
I think they will. I think you're right, but I think I would object to it because we just keep passing and passing them on that
Yeah.
road. It's going to get busier and busier until there's a major accident.
So if it was
It's nearly
down
all
the
developed
grounds,
though. If you look down that road there, they've nearly, these are the last
Well,
ones.
there's loads of
There's
if you
loads of
look,
big gardens still.
loads of big gardens that they could. So I suppose it could set a precedent to stop them in the future.
I'll second David's proposal.
seconded, on the grounds of just highway
Highway
safety,
safety.
pure and simple highway safety. Yeah, are all in favour, please show.
Well, I'll abstain on that because I think it'll get through.
Are you in? Yeah,
Yeah,
5 in favour and 1 abstention.
yeah. seconded it. I think so.
No, you're not putting
Well, I
your
thought you
hand up.
seconded it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, number 10, 23/0 00168 16 Swan Avenue.
We had a look at that one. Yeah, I have no issue with it.
We're quite happy to approve it.
That'll be very quick. I'll second that.
And that, all in favour? Brilliant.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Here are the plan implications. Alright, turning over the page, treble to 3/102, correspondence. We had correspondence, as you've all been seeing, about the rejection of the mast.
I assume we're putting it back in again, will they, for somewhere else, relocating it. Are they?
They
Well,
may do, and
yeah.
we'll get notification of that.
Presumably will be, but I think we
I
just
think it's getting it located in the right place rather than at the gateway to a village. They have refused on other gateways as well.
I think we can just
I'm
note
I'm
that.
annoyed that they've agreed that one out there. That what you said was.
What that we said to relocate it, they agreed.
Yeah, they've agreed, yeah. And the other one, which isn't down but we'll discuss, is 2 Oakwood Cottages, Lady Lane. So it's going to the planning panel next Wednesday morning, City Hall, Bradford at 10 o'clock. We commented to you, recommend refusal on the grounds of the size, scale, massing and overbearing. But they are speaking against the decision that was made. So we printed it up again.
I don't think there's been a decision, has there?
No, it's the actual planning panel where Bradford Council will decide whether they agree with us or they don't.
See, they moved it to Bradford, haven't they? Instead of
Yes,
Keighley.
instead of Keighley, yeah, that's a nuisance, is that, isn't it? Yeah, because he used to have in Keighley, and so I don't think anybody wants to go, I don't really want
I can't.
to. Anyway, decide to turn up. We'll see what they have to say, can't we?
I'm just wondering why it's going to a panel this time as opposed to a straight refusal, which it was last time.
Well, you see,
We haven't got any inkling
no,
because it's. I think as we discussed last time, it's still a massive
It is.
extension.
although they are saying, you see, the new extension now incorporates a significant setback as required by the SPD This makes this extension distinguishable from and subservient to the original building.
Yes, so they
Patio windows have also been
tinkered round the
removed.
edges,
Yeah.
but fundamentally it's
huge.
massive.
It is now considered that the proposed extension complies with policy and can be approved.
Well, that's their planning consultant.
That is their chartered.
That's the man
Their
who's
chartered
paid to
town
get
planning
it through.
consultant.
Yeah.
Not going to
It's
put
fine
no
now.
other.
Right.
So we've noted that. And that, I believe, 223 we exclude the public. But we've nothing to discuss, have we? Nicola, have we?
No, nothing.
Have I missed anything?
No.
Nope.
Because she's smiling at me, that means I'm going to get a bollocking afterwards.
No, I was just happy.
Mr. Owl.
Well, I said it now, haven't I? Well, we've only got 2 more meetings to go.
We
No,
have
1 more.
one more.
No, 2 more. Switch off, Nicola. Switch off.
Well, you've still got date
Date
of
of the next
meeting.
meeting.
Seconded it.